Good after morning. It's 1:15 on Wednesday, which means it's 10 a.m.-ish. Let's go! How are we all doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Plus. My name is Graham Day. I'm joined by the man that we call Ice Cream. And then as well as the ice cream, we have Bibby as well. There he is. Let's go, Bobby!
My name is Optimus Prime.
Hi.
Oh. My name is Optimus Prime. Yeah, let's go. Mr. Bearded Edge, thank you very much for the 10-month primage primer, as Ps5 would say. Primer. Thank you for the primer. Nice one. Callum, I was talking about you just the other day, actually, Callum. I was talking about... It wasn't good. It was bad. And I was talking about working back at EGX. Me and you, what was that? Was that like 2011? We did like EGX, and then 2012, and then we did another one a few years later on, kind of thing. So yeah, retros. Anyway, thank you very much for the 10 whole months. I appreciate that very, very much. I want to just shout out anyone that has probably dropped down some hosts on the channel, because Twitch has just decided that hosts can get to fuck. Don't know why, they just thought, get to fuck. So anyone that does drop a host, nobody gets any form of alert for that. Not in our Streamlabs feeds, not in our Twitch dashboard feeds. We get nothing. Although I do think it is still happening, because my lights change when something happens. So it seems like something has tripped over in Twitch's backend. So if anyone has dropped a host, apologies for not shouting you out. We are not intentionally ignorant, or not meant to be anyway.
I can see it in here. I can see that Lotus has just started hosting.
Oh, interesting. See, I can't...
And Tricky LFC is now hosting as well.
Tricky, thank you very much. Lotus, nah, I'm not thinking you. Not So yeah, don't know why. It's just decided that it doesn't work. So it's definitely still happening. So Bibby's sat in the studio where we have a program called Chatty to run our chatbot, and that is like super behind the scenes sort of stuff. So it shows us whenever someone enters the chat, even if they're lurking. So we know if you're there when we're in the studio, at least. Even if you're not talking, we know.
But Neil too. Thank you very much for the host.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, if anyone hasn't seen it, do feel free. Neil, if you've got a link to that clip, by the way, do feel free to check out. I was watching West and Ham playing PUBG this morning, and they had Neil in the team. The rest of the squad had been wiped, and it was Neil running round with a Tommy gun and a crossbow. And he takes out a few people on the way and gets a crossbow kill with about 6 people left, and you're thinking, that's it. We've hit the peak. Now it's all going to be crossbows from Tommy gun from here on out, because he's only got 1 crossbow bolt. What can you do with 1 crossbow bolt? Takes out a few people with a Tommy gun. It's 1-on-1. Him versus a level 3'd out Orm. Forgetting the links. The most powerful gun in the game versus Neil with a bit of elastic band and a stick. And he one-shots the Orm dude in the head and gets the winner chicken dinner. Fuck me!
Like Daryl Dixon.
Yeah, you get me. So yeah, the clip there, the clip's in the chat. If you want to watch something, do feel free to go and have a look. It was good. I was sat there working away, and it was one of those where I'm writing an email and I'm there like typing, but then I'm kind of like looking at the screen, and then then it was just like, okay, there was no typing, there was just me staring at the screen. So yeah, GG's. Nice. Mini studio Bib, yay! Let's jump into Big Bib. Let's visit him in the studio.
Hi, welcome to my crib.
See, I can almost make it look like I'm in the studio with you. I'll just move my screen over and I could be just sat there like, oh yeah. Maybe that's how we do it from now on. I just plonk me green screened like sat to the side of you.
Yeah, I'll save your spot there.
Completed PUBG. You did. Neil used aimbot confirmed. I did see you afterwards saying, so you got those new scripts or something then in the chat. I saw it. He has it. I mean, he got them working. Nice. Bibby looking professional with his shirt.
Oh, this little number. Nam bought me this.
I think Bibby's got like a second interview lined up or something somewhere. It's one of those where someone turns up to work like super snazzy and stylish, and it's like, oh, someone's looking nice today. Then 2 weeks later, they hand in the notice, and it's like, now I know.
Black jeans and Adidas, baby.
So if you are new here, welcome in. My name is Optimus Prime. It's not Optimus Prime, by the way. Oh, but actually, do you know what? Before I jump into the show, I want to tell you a tangent. Apologies if you're waiting for the news to start. We're going to go to a bit of a tangent. But has anyone ever heard of the Calm app? It's a really good app for if you like meditation, yoga, just getting yourself to sleep and stuff like that. Anyway, Danielle has this Calm app that does sleep stories. So if you're struggling to get off to sleep, you basically get, all right. Matthew McConaughey, all sorts of other celebrities are in it. It's a massive global app. Anyway, this app has all these different voiced people doing sleep stories, just chilled out things to get you to drift off to sleep. It's well good. It's fucking ridiculous. I've listened to about the first 3 minutes of so many stories on the app and then not listened to the rest of it because I'm asleep. However, Danielle the other day she was like, oh, did you hear my story last night? I was like, no. She was like, oh, let me play it to you. Anyway, the fucking story was only Optimus Prime. It's like, my name is Optimus. Oh, I'm talking. Why am I talking it when I don't need to? My name. Oh no, fuck! It's not working. God damn it. Okay, I give up. My voice mod's not working. But I was going to do the Optimus Prime play. But anyway, long story short, Optimus Prime, if you're wanting to read you a bedtime story, there is one on the Calm app. So just get yourself a Calm subscription. Jobs are good. And by the way, we aren't sponsored by Calm, but Calm, if you are watching this week, could be. And breathe. Nice. So yes, if you don't know who we are, my name is Graham Day. This is Bib. This guy here in the studio. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is the Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. If we do say so ourselves, we are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.
Ish.
Nice. I pointed at you and you said it just on time. Nice, let's go. We go live at 10 a.m.-ish. It's now almost 1 p.m. So 10 a.m.-ish. There is some days it's closer, some days it's not so close. Today's one of those days. But it's fine because it's all about the quality of the content, not what time it starts. And we appreciate anyone that does drop in, even though we're not bang on the money. It means a lot. And it also means a lot to the millions around the world. Let's go. So yeah, we do stream live, but the live stream gets turned into a podcast. Over 105,000 people have listened and watched to that podcast. So do make sure you get involved because you are talking in the chat now, but the live stream gets turned into a video for YouTube and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. So there is lots of places where people do watch and listen on demand. It's important that you get involved. Yeah. Before we do go any further, let me just tell you, !loot drop. We give one subscriber a prize every month. This month's prize was picked on. Did we? I don't think.
This is bullshit. Rigged.
I forgot that existed. This is bullshit. Rigged. I have never heard that one used on stream before. Nice. Nice. So yeah, anyway, we have a rigged loot drop. This month's prize was actually won by Old Bald Steve in the Discord, aka the 40-year-old Merc King. He has bagged himself an ICU blackout baseball cap, which should hopefully be sent to him. If not, later on this week, at the start of next week, because I can confirm that we have had the stickers dispatched. So all the boxes and stuff will be arriving at some point today. Once all the stickers and stuff arrive next week, we will discuss with you all and sort out getting your details and your hard-earned cash to send you one of these beautiful hats. So hopefully we'll start getting them all sent out from next week. Obviously, they're all going to be in big boxes, so we will have to do them in batch runs, and it will be a case of like first come, first serve priority for shipping and stuff like that. But hopefully we can just do it all in one day anyway, so everyone gets it. Nice. Quick times. !hats if you want any more information on where you can get the hats, what the details are and stuff. Nice. F that guy. I wanted the hat. God damn it. You've got an ICU jersey, Lotus. Yeah. I mean, that's rare right now, but I think more people will have the hats, and the jerseys will be like the VIP level stuff going forward. So I mean, if anyone does want a jersey !merch, but you don't have to. We don't earn anything off the jerseys and stuff. That's just so you guys can rep ICU. You get me? Whose hand do I grease for faster shipping? Nobody's. Just mine. Mine, by the way. Just an extra couple of quid. Or maybe if you want faster shipping, next time you jump in a game with, maybe don't kill me. Maybe do the crossbow stuff against the other people that you're doing, like Hamish and West streams. Bring some of that, and I'll sort you out, mate. I got you.
It's timeless for the team killing.
I know, it was Neil. Neil did me twice in one stream. I mean, both of them were fucking peach. I mean, peach. The first one was like a panic. Like we just eliminated a full squad almost. There was one snake hiding somewhere, and we were both damaged, both inside the little boat, like little narrow corridors. Going, there's one here somewhere, so be careful. Stay frosty, basically. And then I'm in a corner, stood hidden away, bandaging up, and Neil didn't expect someone to be just crouched in a corner kind of thing, so comes around the corner and lasers me to the floor. And then later on, we were both pushing a team, but I was going into one building, Neil was going around it. I realised that Neil was getting shot from going around it, so I came back out of the building and flanked around behind Neil to give him cover. He thought I was in the building, so saw someone behind him and just shotgunned my life away. I turned into a red stain. It was nice. It was fun. It was fun. So yeah, that's what I get, whereas West and Hamish get crossbow armed destruction. God damn. If you order a jersey, you'll be waiting 6 months. Just saying. Yeah. By the way, the hats come from us. We're not taking any money until we know we can send them to you. The merch store is run by Gamers Apparel, so that exists so that you guys can get our merch, like the jerseys and stuff. But we don't have a hand in that, so shipping can take a while. As Lotus found out last year. But we appreciate you getting involved anyway. Get involved. Okay, speaking of getting involved, does anyone want to talk about some video game news? Should we talk about some news?
Let's do it.
You goddamn right. Okay, well, today's video game news, because we know you're all massive Fortnite fans, we'll lead with Fortnite. It's not a big in-depth story, but it is a Fortnite story that leads into something a little bit bigger, and that is the Steam Deck. Not your Stream Deck, but the Steam Deck, the new portable PC offering from Valve. Basically, play your PC games on the go. Beautiful. It's what everyone wants to be able to do, right? Nice. However, it's not quite as flawless as we were hoping. Epic, which is a big fan of putting its games everywhere, won't be putting it on the Steam Deck. So Epic will not update Fortnite to run on the Steam Deck. Tim Sweeney says Linux is a terrifically hard audience to serve. So the system runs on a Linux OS, and they just thought, fuck it, we're not going to put the game there. That is where the lead story will kick off the show today. We'll then jump into the fact that if you want a different portable console, well, maybe the Nintendo Switch is your offering. Well, good news, there is new stuff coming today. There is a 40-minute Nintendo Direct happening today. And that's not a Nintendo Indie Direct. That's not a specific Direct for Pokemon or something like that. This is just unabridged Nintendo Direct. So that could be big stuff. I mean, this could be Breath of the Wild 2. It could be Splatoon, it could be Baby Simulator, we don't know. It could be anything, we will see. Elsewhere, Call of Duty Vanguard and Warzone Pacific Season 2 has been detailed, so good news for Call of Duty. A Battlefield 2042 refund petition is rapidly gaining support, so bad news for Battlefield, which just seems to be the ongoing tone at the moment. Call of Duty's on the up, Battlefield's on the out, whilst a PS5 beta test introduced voice commands and an overhaul to the party system. So if you're a PS5/PS4 user and you want to see how parties and voice commands and stuff can change your life, well, we'll give you a little bit of an insight into that, as my phone is going crazy over here. What is this? Oh, it's everyone getting involved on Hover. Let's go! Yeah, if you haven't, actually, by the way, let me just type this. I've just added a new command, !Hover. Boom. There we go. We have added a link to our Hover. Do feel free to follow us on Hover. We post updates on there, as well as our Go Live messages and stuff. So you can see clips, and you will be able to see more clips as we move forward. We will be duplicating the content across multiple platforms. So if you're not an Instagram person, you don't want pictures of your food along with your gameplay stuff as well, we will also be putting clips on Hover. That is just the unabridged. That is the bridged version. The unabridged is everything. This is just your gameplay content. So do feel free to drop us a follow over there. Nice. TikTok for gamers. Exactly. Get involved. If you haven't signed up yet, do feel free to use the code UPLOAD as your sign-up code. If you have signed up, well, sod you then. Not bothered, mate. I'm joking. I love you really. Okay, we'll jump back into the first bit of news. And that is Epic and Fortnite not coming to the Steam Deck. Epic won't update Fortnite to run on the Steam Deck. Tim Sweeney says Linux is a terrifically hard audience to serve. This is written by Sam Byford, or Byford, don't know, depends how you pronounce it, at The Verge. So Epic Games doesn't plan to update Fortnite so that it runs on Steam OS. According to CEO Tim Sweeney, meaning owners of the upcoming Valve Steam Deck will likely have to install Windows to play the popular Battle Royale game. In a series of tweets, Sweeney said that the company doesn't feel confident about its ability to combat cheating in Fortnite when running on custom kernel configurations. Fortnite isn't on the Steam store in any case, but Sweeney's comments rule out a Linux version that could run on the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck uses Valve's SteamOS, which is based on Linux and makes use of a compatibility layer called Proton so that Steam games compiled for Windows can run on it. Epic has made its anti-cheat software, Easy Anti-Cheat, or EAC, compatible with Linux and Proton, so developers that use it should be able to make their games work on the Steam Deck without issue. For now, though, Epic itself isn't going to be one of them, at least not with Fortnite. When contacted for comment by The Verge, Sweeney describes Linux as a terrifically hard audience to serve given the variety of incompatible configurations. Asked whether it would be possible to enable compatibility just for SteamOS, he said, quote, Linux is a small market already, and if you subdivide it by blessed kernel versions, then it's even smaller, end quote. It may not be worth Epic's while to put in the work on security for what will be a comparatively tiny audience, at least at first. Besides, it's not like Steam Deck owners won't be able to play Fortnite at all. There's always the option of installing Windows on the machine, and Sweeney hailed the Steam Deck as an amazing move by Valve when it was first announced, calling it an open platform where users are free to install software of their choosing, including Windows and other stores. Okay, babe.
Yeah.
As a man that's partial to a bit of Fortnite here and there,
Love it.
a man that would be interested, I imagine, in getting a Steam Deck device.
Absolutely.
Is this sad news? No Fortnite on the Steam Deck? What do you feel it means for the bigger picture for the Steam Deck?
At this moment in time, I don't think it means much because I can't imagine people buying the Steam Deck just to be able to play Fortnite. I mean, you can buy a Switch for cheaper. Comparatively, the graphics in the Stream Deck and the Nintendo Switch are night and day. Like this, the Switch is, I think for Fortnite, 720, 30 frames. It definitely doesn't go up to 1080 even when it's docked. It just doesn't look anywhere close to its console counterparts. So yeah, I don't think this is the worst news possible to kick things off with the Stream Deck, because again, like I've just said, people aren't buying this machine just to be able to play Fortnite because they'll want to play their entire Steam library first. They'll want The Witcher on the go. Again, no, you can get it on the Switch. You're the one who has to play Skyrim on the go. I know, again, you'll be able to play it on the Switch, but in terms of power and performance, it's night and day what you're going to be getting from this. So, I mean, there will be a small majority out there, a small minority of people who will want to play Fortnite on the go that would have been a little bit bummed by this, but I think on the whole, it would have been meant for different games. So straight out of the gate, I don't think it's going to be that much of a bad thing. Later down the line, I can probably see Epic made a massive thing about being consumer first, so they'll probably want to be front of house and try to sort this out quietly in the background, maybe a year down the line where you can just play it on there. But natively, I don't think it's a massive issue for them. I don't think they're going to be too arsed about it. It's just not an avenue that I think they ever wanted to explore. Just because it's here doesn't mean that they have to. I think in time they probably will do.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's like the Switch. Nobody wanted to make games for Switch. And let's use EA as an example. I mean, we can make FIFA for the Switch because we know people will buy it and we know there's people there, but there's not really that many people there. So we're just going to port one version year after year after year. And that way we have something, but it's little effort and we get a chance at getting some profit back. And that's the same sort of thing now with the Steam Deck. Switch obviously has a huge install base. The question it can be asked is, does the Switch have a sports install base? And that's where you get kind of chicken and egg. Are there people playing FIFA? Is there no people playing FIFA on Switch because they haven't made a good FIFA for Switch? And then they won't make a good FIFA for Switch because nobody's playing it. And which one comes first? You have to keep going to build an audience before you get a reason to do that. So people that want to use the Steam Deck are probably your more hardcore PC gamers. And I want to say probably more hardcore. This is very generalizing at first. What I mean is there are some really, really good games on PC that are just PC-only experiences. And I imagine, I could be very, very wrong, because I imagine Fortnite is so big and so widespread that it kind of ticks into every vertical of the audience. But I think for me, the people that are buying Steam Decks are the people that will either play a bit of everything or want the PC experiences that you can't get on a Switch or on an old school Vita or on a tablet or something like that. So people that might be playing, is Skyrim on the Switch? I bet it is.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Of course it is on the Samsung Smart Fridge. Of course it is.
Yeah.
So maybe not Skyrim then, but those bigger sort of, so let's say New World. That's the first game that comes to my mind. I don't know whether you can play that on the Steam Deck, but let's use that as an example. That's not on the Switch, so it might be players that want those experiences on the go, and that's where the Steam Deck comes in. So it's probably it's a logical decision, I think, from Apple. We've got the ability to play on your portable device, your Switch. We've got the ability to play on your consoles and your TV and on mobile phones, asterisk ish. So do we need the Steam Deck? Not really, which kind of makes sense. So
that's the thing with the Nintendo Switch. The Switch has become your portable console. It's become something that you never would have envisioned being able to play Doom Eternal on your Nintendo Switch, or Skyrim, or The Witcher, or these games that they have somehow managed to squeeze down, be able to play portably. That would have been a pipe dream 5 years ago. Obviously, we did have things like Borderlands on the PS Vita. There was obviously some very, very good games over that you would say might have been console-ish type versions of the game. Uncharted's another one. Any of the Killzone game. There was another Mercenaries one as well. I can't remember, but there was very, very good versions of console games being smashed down. Don't forget, this console you can dock as well. It's like it is a hybrid. You can plug it into a dock and then be able to play it on your TV if you really wanted to. You can plug a mouse and keyboard into it and be able to play your Steam games with a mouse and keyboard if you so want to. It's just the ability to be able to do that is something that the Switch won't be able to do, especially maybe in this generation, maybe in the next one if there was to revamp it. But as it stands, this is going to be a behemoth of a console, and I just don't think Fortnite. Maybe 3 years ago it might have been more of a bigger deal, but I don't think at this moment in time it's probably a bigger deal as maybe what we're seeing. That said, obviously things like PUBG and that are on the market, on the Steam marketplace, which you will be able to play with on this console. Maybe this might be the one way you're able to play with your controller or your mouse and keyboard if you're docking it. Maybe that might switch their opinion, considering now PUBG is free to play. I don't know. There's so many different variables.
I can just see myself getting absolutely slapped playing PUBG on that.
Yeah, I mean, you are good with controller, to be fair, and I think you can put other Bluetooth controllers to it. So if you really, really wanted to, you could have your PlayStation or your Xbox controller being mirrored onto your Stream Deck, and then you'd be able to mount it somewhere. Like if you was on a train, you could buy a holder and then be able to play it. So you technically have PUBG Mobile.
See, just imagine, because PUBG Mobile though, you play that and you're a little fish in a, let's say, a ridiculously massive pond, but the skill gap is, it's not everyone's a fucking god. But when you play a mouse and keyboard on PUBG on PC, it's just like, I feel like I'm playing in slow motion. Why is everyone moving so much faster and more accurate than me? And I think using a controller, I get a little bit faster. But those like Joy-Con sort of sticks, I just feel like it'd be like.
Yeah, it is torture. It's torture being able to play in it. I mean, the Switch, for what it is a fantastic console. I just don't like the Joy-Cons. I never have. I bought the Hori split ones to go onto my Nintendo Switch, and they are so much better. They're so much chunkier. They fit in my massive hands a lot better. You can play the game. You can play any game for longer than half an hour without your hand cramping up. Again, that was one of the biggest things of the PS Vita. The shape of that was criminal. I don't know why the PSP was so much more comfier, but the Vita hands cramped after like half an hour, so you had to buy a grip for it. But yeah, any kind of Joy-Cons like that on a controller are just a pain in the ass, especially if you wanted to play, and I hate saying this word, competitive gaming, because it seems everything nowadays is now competitive if you're playing online. It dead in the water, mate. Dead on arrival. Don't even bother.
Skill-based matchmaker, mate. All the time, mate. SPMM.
What are they going to put you up against other people using a stream deck?
Oh, there's 3 people in this lobby. 12 days later. Oh, the countdown started and we've got 97 bots. I'd still get slapped by the bots.
Mode.
Yeah, exactly. Good after morning, Timeless. I barely played my Switch in handheld, if I'm honest. To be fair, I'm probably about 50-50, but I think that's probably because I'm not a great example of the Switch's core user. I've used it at length when on like long haul flights, when we did an event in Argentina. That's when I probably played it most in one big stint. But then when I'm at home, it's usually hooked up to the TV, like us doing Mario Kart kind of thing, hooked up to the TV. But similar to Neil, Switch is collecting dust. That is for me. Bibby uses his a lot more than I use mine. I'm just not.
Manager on it, mate.
You are what?
A football manager on it.
Yeah, exactly. And whenever you're jump in the squads with Fortnite in the office, but that hasn't been a while, to be fair. But yeah. Cream Team, good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm about to sell my Switch Lite. I have 2 models. Ooh, a little humble flex. I'm joking. Good morning, Cream Team. How are we doing? Welcome in. Now I work from home. I don't use it. I mean, that's the thing. Mine was bought for a family sort of use console. So Danielle can use it. Say if I'm sat playing PUBG, Danielle can play something else on the couch next to me. Or if I'm traveling to Gamescom, before COVID, in one given year, would do EGX, we'd do Gamescom, we'd do E3, and then we'd probably have 3 or 4 esports events that we would be running. So that's like 6-7 events, big events, usually not in the UK. Maybe 2 of them, EGX and an esports one, might be in the UK. The rest would be around the world somewhere. So we did a lot of traveling. So back then, when we got the Switch, it was like, oh, it'll come in useful for that sort of stuff too. Buy the Switch and us actively buying the Switch kicked off COVID. That's what it was. We bought it and then COVID just went, actually, it's like, So yeah, unfortunately, we don't use it that much. Timeless says, I bought it because Nintendo. Touche. I mean, that's the thing. Nintendo make Nintendo things. They do Nintendo things. They choose to make Nintendo decisions because they're Nintendo and they do what they want. So if you want to play the games and get the experiences that only Nintendo can offer, then the Switch is definitely the way to go. Yeah. I just agree with an article that we touched on the other week. And it's almost elitist, but it's not meant to be elitist because it is just a representation of my feelings. And it's the fact that the article that we covered, I think it was on thegamer.com, said that we shouldn't be afraid to say that Pokemon Legends Arceus is a great game, but it looks shit. Is the way they put it, and that's them saying it's
fair.
It's a great game, it's a great experience, really enjoying playing the game, but the Switch is not comparable with other HD RTX 4K 8K gaming experiences, and then people will naturally buy it back and go, it's not supposed to be though, it's a Switch, mate. And it's like, we know we're saying it's good, it is good for what it is, but it's also acceptable to want more from it, and that's what it is for me. I pick up the Switch, and we were talking just yesterday about how far mobile gaming has come from 10 years ago. When you think of mobile gaming now, you think of like Gameloft cheap rip-offs of like Call of Warfare, and it's like, I wonder what that one's supposed to be. And these crap knockoffs, whereas mobile gaming now is its own thing in its own right. And when I think of playing Switch games, in my mind, I position it closer to a mobile game than I'd do closer to a top-end console/PC game. And not a bad thing, but it's not what I'm interested in my gameplay. So I want Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I want the HD remaster, remake kind of thing version of it, which is funny because it only came out last week, but I want the remake and the remastered version before I fully opt into it.
Pokemon games have always been gameplay over everything else.
Absolutely.
So the gameplay for the new Pokemon game, I haven't played it myself, but from what I'm hearing is absolutely top draw, like 10 out of 10. So for that, it's a massive dub. If we want better, and graphically we want better, that's absolutely fine. It just has to go down off the performance of the Nintendo Switch. If Pokemon was to ever come out for PC, I imagine it would be a completely different looking game. But I mean, if you was to put both of them side by side, I'm talking about Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Pokemon, you would feel a little bit robbed by the environment that you are currently in, because Breath of the Wild is a world away from what you're going to see in a Pokemon game. I don't know whether or not it would have taken a performance hit because there was glitching and artifacting in Sword and Shield, and that looks nothing like what Sword and Shield, what Arceus is. So I don't know. I don't know if they tried to put that stuff in, but they had to scale it back as if like they were putting the graphics on low compared to medium because of all the stuff that they ended up putting in. It just hindered performance. We'll never know that. But like you say, wanting more is only natural. But in terms of what they wanted to set out, gameplay over everything else is always what a Pokemon game's been, and I'm at peace with that. I'm satisfied with that. You'd expect them to build on that for the next game, though. Whether or not it's going to be on the Switch Pro or the Switch 2 or whatever the fuck they're going to call it next, I don't know. But they need to build on what they've got now. This is a very, very, very good foundation what they've set with this new game.
Yeah, I agree. It's a shame to think that Nintendo, their model is very, very much closely built around having a console. And this is where we had a conversation, I think it was last week, which was a conversation that's 10-year-old conversation. Will the next generation get rid of the consoles? I don't think it will. I think consoles will still remain.
Too convenient.
Yeah, exactly. But particularly the likes of Nintendo, because they make so much money selling the console again and again and again. Hey, have you got a Stream Deck? Not a Stream Deck, a Switch? Okay, how about a Switch with a better battery? So still the same Switch, just a better battery, just different version. Oh, you got rid of your old one so you can get the new one? That's nice. Okay, well, that new one with a better battery, we've got one now that's got a better screen. Do you want that one as well? Okay, yeah, so you sold that one and you got the new one. We'll have a light version as well, which is it's a good screen and stuff, but you can't take the Joy-Cons off, but it's just a light portable device. If you've swapped it for that one. Okay, well, the great news is now we've got and it's just like, what the fuck? How many times am I going to swap this thing out? But Nintendo are a big fan of that, but they can do that. Nintendo, and that will continue to be a thing, which is what then makes me think we will never, or at least until things change for Nintendo, we won't see what Xbox and PlayStation have started to do, and that is put their games on PC. Xbox are going, okay, well, we are pretty much a PC anyway, so that's fine. Boom. PlayStation goes, okay, well, at least at the moment, we know that putting them on PC isn't jeopardizing our PlayStation audience. Mm-hmm. But that could be the fact that we're releasing God of War 3-4 years later on PC, yeah. So everyone's bought it, and that way it doesn't matter if it plays and looks better on a non-PlayStation console, because it's fine. Everyone's had their fun. It's all good, nice. Whether they then
Tencent did so well though, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you ever think in our lifetime we're going to get a Zelda or a Pokemon game on PC, Graham?
Right now, no. Unless things change, no. With the way it is, no. Because if someone goes, well, this is a Nintendo game made by Nintendo for a Nintendo system and PC, and it's like, do you realise it's actually 5 times the visual fidelity on PC? And it's like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Okay, suddenly people stop buying Nintendo's better battery version, their light version, their OLED version.
It's not in their remit. I don't think they're asked about chasing that kind of cheddar. If they did, they would have done it a long time ago.
Yeah.
In terms of performance of a console, Nintendo has always been behind graphically. Like, apart from the home consoles, all our handheld is older technology compared to the PSP, the PS Vita. It's just not been as good. And now they've changed the game. They've brought a Switch out, which Stream Deck is trying to emulate. It's fucking genius. If PlayStation was to ever bring out another another handheld console, you bet your ass they're going to be making a hybrid console where they're able to dock it and things like that. They might not necessarily be the market leaders in terms of graphic fidelity on their handheld consoles, but my god, they can sell a console with their IPs and their imagination. Is that the word? Innovation. I think that's probably better. In terms of the products that they end up releasing, the 3DS, the 2DS or the DS with the flip screen and stuff like that, it's all revolutionary stuff that they have managed to sell hundreds of thousands and millions of consoles. It's ridiculous, but yeah, in terms of graphics, they'll always be behind. But I think that's why things like Temtem started to blow up on PC, because you'll never get a Pokemon
Here's
version.
a taste of the future that you're not allowed to experience. But Nintendo could do it; they just don't want to.
Yeah,
and that, I mean, you said it before. Nintendo games, particularly Pokemon games, but Nintendo games, I think in general for all of the major Nintendo releases, it's gameplay over visuals. So the gameplay comes first and the visuals come second, and Nintendo are happy going, oh well, you can get visuals elsewhere, we're going to make good games. If you don't like that, don't buy it, because we're only going to release it on this system anyway. So like Timeless has put I think I only own Nintendo games on the Switch, which is a great reason, because Nintendo's games on the Switch are wonderful. Luigi's Mansion is not on paper a game that I should be asked about, but it's fucking incredible. It's such a good game, But the Steam Deck could fill the gap, just not for Fortnite fans, sadly. Let's jump back through the comments. I bought every Nintendo system for No More Heroes every time it was released.
To swap out No More Heroes for Skyrim, and me and you are both on the same page.
Call it No More Systems, because he's got them all, mate. Hey, the Nintendo Switch Pro Special Limited Super Duper Edition. Yeah, I mean, that will be coming soon, before the console generation is done, absolutely. Neil says, but they must edit and design the game on PC, and then go, now shrink it. What, to fit on this? I mean, that's the thing. They will.
If only it was that easy.
Yeah, I remember a story actually about, I don't know if it was Iwata. It was one of the top Nintendo dudes. I'm not a big Nintendo fan, so I don't really remember people like you would remember a Kojima or like that for console gaming. But I remember it was like Pokemon Red and Blue kind of era, and they'd gone, okay, here's the game, and it's perfect. But it's like 70% too big for the cartridge. We can't like get it to fit on the cartridge, so we need to decide what are we going to cut out of the game. But because it's like 70% too big, it might not be 70%, I'm just going with that figure. Because it's 70% too big, we will have to cut out some considerable stuff. So the game, whilst it's perfect now, it's not going to be that. Because we can't fit on the cartridge. So I'll say Iwata took it home on the weekend. One developer just went, let me have a look at it over the weekend. Came back and he's like, there you go, there's your cartridge. The full game's on it. I've just changed the code and it fits. Wow. Fucking imagine that, one person just developing the entire game over a weekend. I mean, it already been developed, that's not what it was. But still, it's amazing. Imagine that now. But yeah, it's the same sort of thing in theory with... Switch games. They are being made on bigger systems, but they're being made with obviously the SDKs in mind. So it is being made within that. But yeah, Nintendo are like, yeah, but why would we want to show people that 70% game that they could have? That's now visuals. We could just let them have that on PC. We've got the Xbox app on PC, the Windows Store thingy. We could just have a Nintendo Store on PC where you just download the games and play them through your PC, and you can unlock frame rates and shit like that. But that shows Nintendo's hardware to be bad, which then goes against their mantra of, okay, we make good games, not good looking games. If the game is good and looks good, that's great, but it needs to be a good game first. And if they do that, then that shows that they open themselves up to the fact that games need to look good and that their systems, by definition, are inferior. And it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
10 million sales of the new Pokemon game in 2 weeks is a testament to that, I think.
Yeah, ridiculous. The thing is, we spoke about that. I don't know if it might have been one that you weren't around when. It might have been last Wednesday. We were speaking about the stats. It was 6.5 million in the first 48 hours or something, which is the most, I think, that any Pokemon game has had on the Switch. The closest to that was Sword and Shield and Diamond and Pearl, which had got like 6 million in the same period. So they'd gone up by an extra 500,000. However, those games all released with two versions, Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Diamond and Pearl.
Let's Go Pikachu. And Eevee wasn't in that because they were the first Pokemon games on the console, weren't they?
They were.
So I'm surprised that they wasn't even in the conversation.
They were mentioned, but they were lower. They were lower than that. I think they were quite significantly lower. And I don't know if that's because it was not quite the same game. Like people bought into. I mean, I own Let's Go Pikachu because I thought, ooh, Pokemon Go / the original 151, but it just wasn't what I wanted from the game. So I think that kind of filtered out pretty quickly, which squashed the sales. But yes, every other game that's done well has had 2 games and reached 6 million. This was only 1 game and it reached 6.5 million. So fuck yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
We'll put a pin in that one. There was an image going around on social media a few years back, and the caption for the image was, "This image is the same file size as the entire first Mario Brothers game. Shows how far we've come." Stuff like that there's so many different things. I remember being I did CAD design technology, not CAD design. I did some design thing. I can't remember what it was now. It was a GNVQ in something. I can't remember. Anyway, I did whatever the qualification was. Clearly great because I don't remember what it was. But it went through all.
Even on his CV.
Who has a CV these days? Oh God. So it went through like technology in the world and what was available. And at that point, this is like 20 years ago. I'm still in school kind of thing. And there was more technology in a card that you can pick up from Clinton's that plays music and stuff. There's more technology in that one musical card than there was in the entire world in the 60s. And that's because obviously microchips versus non-microchips and stuff like that. The technological advancements in your musical birthday card or musical Christmas card is more advanced than the entire world was in the 60s. Absolute madness. Astral Chin? is that an astral chain? I mean, it could be chin. One chin. For sure, my game really surprised me. I don't even know what that is, so I'm going to take you. Dragon Alex, I don't know if I shouted you out. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome into the stream. How you doing? We are just finishing up talking about the fact that Epic will not be updating Fortnite for the Steam Deck. It is available on other platforms like Stream Deck, not Stream Deck. Switch, as we're talking about Stream Deck, so you can play it portable, but it won't be on the Steam Deck, should I say? It might be, but you'd have to get workarounds like running it through Windows or something like that. Anyway, speaking about the Switch, let's not go too far. Let's keep on that conversation. If you've got a Switch and you're looking for new experiences, well, today might be your day. At least the day that gives you the information of what experiences you can look forward to. As Tom Phillips at Eurogamer has this article, a Nintendo Direct announced for tomorrow. But you'll notice the date was the 8th of February. This is yesterday's article. So the Direct is today. So that's 10 p.m. tonight. Nintendo will hold its next Direct broadcast tomorrow, today, the 9th of February at 10 p.m. UK time. And we're hoping it's a big one. If you're wondering what's going to be in it, by the way, the tagline gives you some teasers, maybe. Zelda, ? Splatoon, ? Fire Emblem, ? Birdo, ? Don't even know what that one is, but nice. The 40-minute briefing will be Nintendo's first of 2022 and the first major presentation of Nintendo Switch games to fans since September last year. 2022 looks to be a busy year for Nintendo with its long-awaited Breath of the Wild sequel, hopefully in brackets, turning up on the schedule alongside Splatoon 3, the delayed Arcane Wars 1 and 2, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Bayonetta 3, and maybe some more Metroid. As ever, Eurogamer will be reporting live. 1, 2, let's go. And there we go. We have a video just below, which is the what's the phrase for it? The YouTube video, basically the premiere. Is that what it's called? Yeah,
I'd say so.
So you can, it's live in 8 hours, February 9th, 10 p.m. UK time. You can set a reminder. Feel free to do so. But the Direct is today. So if you want to know what else is coming, there you go. Are you excited for the Direct, babe?
I'm excited to see what comes out the back of it. Timeless has just said in there 10 p.m. Am I going to be up for it? No. I'm in bed for 9:30. So I'll probably catch up with it tomorrow before we go live with the scoop to bring you exactly what actually went down yesterday if everybody else is in the same situation. I don't know what to expect from it. I think this is the first one where I'm going in with no expectations. I don't like using that word that often because sometimes you can get beaten down with what you'd come to expect from a video game conference because there's so much information that's being crammed down your throat before a state of play happens, before an Xbox conference happens, before a Nintendo Direct happens. Like in here it says like they're hoping to see something from Breath of the Wild, hopefully something from Splatoon 3, Advance Wars, Kirby. Like you could get none of these things, and then automatically in your head you're going, okay, that was probably a bad show then, because someone's already put into your mind towards the back of it. They're not saying it's going to happen, but you've got those games in mind. So I'm going in with zero expectation of it because I feel like that's the only way you can possibly be happy if it doesn't go the way that you think it's going to go. So I'm just looking forward to catching up with the show tomorrow and then seeing exactly what happened because I won't be able to see anything that goes on social media as well until I wake up tomorrow. So I feel like I can relive something that I haven't lived through in the first place, which is interesting, but it is what it is.
I'm dubious. I feel like everything in my bones is telling me this is going to be a good Nintendo Direct conference because we're due one. And it's like, I remember us being sat at E3 last year, or it might have been Gamescom. I can't remember which one. Either way, there was me, there was Bibby, maybe Shaw or Nico. I can't remember who else was with us. So or it could have been Ben. And we were sat around waiting to do the E3 watch along or the Gamescom watch along. And about 20 minutes before, we're all sat in a Discord call, cutting our heads out so we can get them on the screen so the right people sit in the right place on the presentation. And then there's a message that just starts floating out. Oh, by the way, you can't watch this along. If you watch this along, Nintendo's going to give you a big old copyright strike because we're Nintendo and fuck you. So it's like, okay, well, this is not a watch along anymore because we can't actually show the watch along on our stream. Yeah. So it's turned into a watch with. The conference was on, and we gave you the link to it, and we just watched it, and you watched it, and then we spoke about it together, which was a pain in the ass. So we were like, okay, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Nintendo are due some good games now, so we'll watch it anyway. And it was like, and apologies for Ace Attorney fans out there, but that's the only thing really that I remember in that conference, Ace Attorney, and I was like.
It was so long, that trailer as well, wasn't it? It was like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It's so long. I mean, it wasn't as long as the Koch one, thank God. But yeah, that was that really kind of brought the mood down. So yeah,
they were due something last year. And just went, you know what? We don't care. We're Nintendo. We make Nintendo decisions. We do what we do. We say what we say, and we say, fuck it. We'll wait until next year. We'll wait until the year after. Like, was it last year? Was like the 25th or 35th anniversary of like Pokemons and Marios and stuff, and Nintendo was just like, do you know what? We're not going to do any celebrations. We don't need to. We're not going to release any special edition merch just because fuck it. And then all of a sudden they went, actually, this one we will do. Boom. Because whatever.
It was Mario 30th, wasn't it?
So I can't remember.
They brought out the game that was only available, so you could buy the Mario Collection game for 3 months, and then they was going to take it off sale.
So it was basically an NFT that you couldn't sell on. Nice one, Nintendo.
That was wild. That was wild times for Nintendo, but hey, it's what you come to expect. Timeless says Zelda update release period announced. Also, these haven't been announced. No, these are just speculative stuff, which I have now put that information into your head that you was coming to expect it. You might have gone away with it if I wasn't clarifying that you was expecting to see something. That's the problem with speculation when you come into these things. It can really dampen the show for you before it even starts. Which is probably why when we do watch-alongs and stuff, we'll say we haven't really got any expectations. We just want to be entertained, and I think that's what that's the expectations that you should go in with. Yeah, this is a TV show that you're watching. This is something that you want to be entertained by. If there's some stonking announcements in there that gets the juices going, absolutely fantastic, massive thumbs up. But yeah, it's difficult to try and set expectations.
Yeah, we tried to bring people back into the room a lot of the times, and you see it more often with the Nintendo Direct indie showcases, and the clue's in the title. It's an indie showcase. So these are the smaller games, not the ones that will get your full stands in-game, not the ones that will have POS taking over the whole shop, banners and posters everywhere. This will be the one that has like 3 or 4 lines on one shelf at a far end of the store kind of thing. Those are your indie titles, and then people just sit there in the chat going, "New Zelda, no!" And then they don't get it at the start, going, "Blah!" And it's like it's
snooze emojis.
Yeah, it's not that. It's a different thing. So we usually pull people's expectations down. This one, we're still pulling it down, saying you might not get what you want. You might just get one thing announced. I know that there's so many games that haven't had their audiences fulfilled, not like that, calm down, for a while, that there's a lot of people thinking, actually, would you some Splatoon news? Would you some Breath of the Wild 2 news? We need to see that there's DLC for Metroid Prime, because that was a lot of people's Game of the Year sort of stuff. We need extra content. Why are we not seeing any post-launch activity there, Nintendo? But Nintendo could just happily go, yeah, we don't actually have anything for them, so we're just not even going to acknowledge that they exist. Here's Ace Attorney 17 with a 12-minute trailer. And Nintendo do Nintendo things, so it could be good. It could be good. We will give you the full recap tomorrow morning from the studio, by the way. So do join us 10 a.m.-ish tomorrow morning for the next episode of The Scoop, where we do go through what is discussed and see whether it is a bit of a banger or whether it's just a damn squib. Nintendo is so cringe sometimes. Cream Team, I agree. Last year's was bad. Last year's was bad because not only was it a crap show, but they told people that they couldn't watch it along live, but they could watch it along afterwards from the VOD. If you watched it as a live stream, you were going to get copyright strikes, unless you were one of the 8 channels that were approved, and it was just weird.
It was like half an hour before go live as well.
Yeah.
So I think everybody would have been saying, join us for our watch along, including us. We was part of those people, and then half an hour before, we can't do this, so here's a link. Enjoy our faces. It'll definitely be out of sync your end, but try and enjoy it.
So bad. Like for creators as well that might want to stream the live watch along. A lot of people have audiences that want to see that content live as it happens. So you have to do a live watch along. But if you can't record the video content, that means you then as a creator either choose to not watch it with your audience and make a YouTube video, or you do watch it with your audience and then you double dip on it by then making a separate YouTube video, which requires all of the editing and stuff down. So it was bad. It was bad. So yeah, cringe is a good word there. Zelda, we're going to release a game and watch. Yeah, exactly. Ta-da! And gone. Zelda was last year. Mario was 2019. Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, though. Like, they could have gone massive, particularly, like, you think in Breath of the Wild 2, we knew it was coming. So last year, they should have been going in on building up the hype for Zelda. Any other company would have done. But Nintendo were just like, actually, do you know what? We'll leave it. People will buy it anyway.
I'm surprised if you actually see it properly for the first time about 3 weeks before it comes out. And then on the same day that it comes out, they'll say, actually, we've got a brand new console for you to be able to buy as well as Zelda Limited Edition one. Yeah, it's in shops. You might be able to get one, you might not be able to, but it's available somewhere.
F-Zero and Zelda are my dreams. I may get Zelda. No hope for F-Zero. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Nintendo could just go, oh, by the way, nobody asked for it, or nobody expected it, but here's 4 different versions of F-Zero coming in 7 minutes. Nintendo decisions. Scoop these nuts. We're going to do a compilation for Mario, but can't be asked for Zelda. Yeah, just bought a compilation that's only available digitally for 3 months. We are going to put physical restrictions on a digital entity that has no need to be physically restricted because we can, and deal with it. Anyway, that's enough about Nintendo. Let's start talking a bit more modern. Should we talk about shooters? Let's do that. Let's talk about shooters for the next 2 articles. Starting off a bit more positive, then we'll go a little bit more negative as we get to the end of it. Call of Duty Vanguard and Warzone Pacific Season 2 has been detailed. The delayed season of content kicks off on Valentine's Day, next Monday, February the 14th. This is written by Tom Ivan at VGC, and the article says Activision has revealed plans for Call of Duty Vanguard and Warzone Pacific Season 2. Set for release on February 14th, the upcoming season will introduce a range of content across the titles. As detailed on the official Call of Duty website, new Warzone features will include Nebula 5 or Nebula V, ammo and bombs which emit poison gas, and portable decontamination stations to protect against them. Fresh points of interest will include chemical factory in the underground chemical weapon research labs, while bomber planes and redeploy balloons will provide new ways to navigate cold area. Let me just hit play on this. I'll keep it muted though. Vanguard multiplayer will receive 2 new mid-sized maps when the season launches. Casablanca is set in a bustling Moroccan marketplace, while Gondola takes place in a European mountain region. And at a later date, Season 2 will deliver the largest locale in Vanguard yet. Activision also teased, quote, an arms race with armoured war machines is bigger than infantry combat. It's piloting motorcycles, squad transport vehicles, and tanks en route to destroying enemy bases. This and other features are expected to arrive during Season 2. On the zombies front, Season 2 will add a new map, arenas, enemy, wonder weapon, story quest, and artifact, among other features. Let me hit pause on this trailer for now. Activision recently delayed the launch of Vanguard and Warzone Pacific Season 2 by 12 days due to ongoing issues with the games and 2019's Modern Warfare. We'll just pause it there and go back up. I'll hit play on the trailer. But Bib,
Yes.
what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we talked at length yesterday about what Halo and Battlefield are doing, and Vanguard doesn't necessarily get the respect I think it deserves, because it is actually a really, really fun game. It's just obviously the subject matter, which is a hindrance for some people, including yourself. Obviously, this isn't aimed at you, this game, but you played it and you enjoyed it. But I think this is a world away from what we're getting from the other two games at the moment, because this is just more content coming for these games. Obviously, Warzone is their cash cow. It's their game that will continue as a live service for the foreseeable. They'll just keep changing it depending on what game comes out. And then they'll just reskin it differently. But look at all the stuff that's coming there. More maps, new modes, new content drops, new vehicles, stuff that's coming for the zombies part of it. All the different operators, all the new weapons. Like, this is what you'd expect from a AAA studio that is pushing their FPS game. And it feels like Battlefield and Halo are both miles behind at this moment in time when it comes to their biggest cash cows. And Call of Duty does get a bad rap, and I will include myself in that, because I do not feel like they need to have a game every single year coming out. They've got 4 different studios working on these games to get them pumped out as quick as they can. Warzone, obviously, aside, because that's a battle royale, and you can do with that what you want and when you want. But in terms of mainline games, there isn't a need for one every single year. But when they are bringing out as much content as they do for these games, it's hard to say anything otherwise, because it's not as if they're just releasing it, letting it go out into the wild, and then not looking after it once it leaves. Like, they continue to support these games up until the new game comes out, and then you'll see a completely different change in mindset, because obviously, what's the point in looking after a game? Like, they're not putting content out for Modern Warfare 2 still, are they? They're just, as soon as a new game comes out, that's it. They'll forget about it and move on to the next one. So they go from strength to strength with this, and you can't really argue about how well they treat their games.
Jumping into the comments, Timeless says, did you see there's a new skin for Warzone that you complete challenges to upgrade? One small issue, the final part of the skin unlock is tied to the old map, apparently, so no one can unlock it. Great! Nice, look at what you could have won. Let's go.
I never said to check everything that gets put out the door. I just said they are putting stuff out of the door.
Neil says it will be all buggy and people will hate it after a week. I mean, that's Call of Duty. People will hate it after a week anyway. That's just par for the course for Call of Duty, I think. Warzone side of things, new gas bubble thing is mental. Basically gimping a massive part of the BR. I don't know what that is, so do give us the details. But speaking of Battlefield, I'll use this as an opportunity to jump straight into the next article, so we can wrap them both up and discuss them as one cumulative piece. We'll stick with VGC and Tom Ivan, as he has this article, which says a Battlefield 2042 refund petition is rapidly gaining support. It has currently been signed by almost 30,000 players. This was written yesterday, so it could be double that. We don't know. But a petition calling for publisher Electronic Arts to let players claim Battlefield 2042 refunds is rapidly gaining support. The Change.org petition has, at the time of publication, been signed by some 29,000 users, a significant increase from the 5,000 or so who had signed it when it was spotted by Windows Central on Monday. So Monday, 5,000. Tuesday, 29,000. Wednesday, who knows? Do you know, actually, let me take this off. I'll know. Let's see how many people have signed it. It has been signed by, what? Okay, 62,000 people. It's just gone up by another one. 62,129. That's how many people have signed the petition. 62,133, 34, 35. It's going up. It's going up.
Wow.
You get the idea. So a lot of people.
Like your electric meter.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, a lot of people have signed the petition. EA's release of Battlefield 2042 was a mockery of every customer who purchased this video game for $70 due to EA's false advertising, claims the petition. Quote, Battlefield 2042 has cost consumers millions of dollars in damages and upset thousands of customers worldwide. According to many consumer reports, Electronic Arts and DICE did not keep many promises made at launch, and Battlefield 2042 was launched as unplayable. Even today, Battlefield 2042 has bugs that drastically change the in-game experience so much that it's deemed an unfinished release by many community members, end quote. They're all quotes taken from that Change.org petition. Now back to the article's content, which says EA CEO Andrew Wilson said last week that the company remains committed to Battlefield 2042 and the franchise's fans after the game's disappointing launch. Addressing performance issues in the company's plans for the title during its third quarter earnings call, Wilson backed developer DICE to turn Battlefield 2042's fortunes around by re-engaging its fan base and claimed to believe the game will do really well over the course of time. He said, developing this game with our teams working from home for nearly 2 years ultimately proved to be challenging. Through our process of testing and preparation, we believe the experience was ready to be put in players' hands. Really? Anyway, okay. We launched with strong stability. However, as more players experienced the full game, it became clear that there were unanticipated performance issues. That we would need to address. Wilson continued, some of the design choices we made with the game also did not resonate with everyone in our community. We are fully committed to realising the full potential of this game and fully committed to our Battlefield fans. We've already implemented a series of major updates to the game, and there are more to come. End quote. Yeah, we can leave it there. The rest is just wrap-up stuff. So, EA, no, they done fucked up. There was a quote yesterday about DICE have already got some experience recovering from messy situations. That was the gist of it. I can't remember the exact way, but the word was mess that it was based on. They realised this is a mess. It has been a mess. They've got out of a mess. They can get away from messes, whatever it was. They know this is messy. And so do the consumers. 70,000 people almost now have signed up a change.org petition asking to get their money back because they, like we, believed that Battlefield 2042 would be exceptional. Sadly, as we spoke about yesterday, the only thing good we've seen in Battlefield 2042 was Lotus flying around the skies in his F-16, like his Maverick in Top Gun. Other than that, not much else. What are your thoughts, babe? Petition?
Do you think they're entitled to it?
Do you know... Why not? I mean, we've seen we've seen users get their money back for Cyberpunk. PlayStation have gone, okay, well, this game is buggy as fuck, so you get your money back. Xbox have gone, okay, Xbox gave money back. PlayStation canned it entirely. If Xbox are happy enough to give money back like that, why not for this? So,
see, there's a slight difference there. Timeline.
How do you mean?
I think this has been out for too long.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk was out next to no time.
It was like next week kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this has been out. Well, it has been out for nearly 4 months now. So, will they be allowed to? Because people could have consumed 1,000 hours in this game by now. As much as they bought into it because it was told something was going to be happening, they was going to be getting a different experience than what they've got. Is there a limit on how much you can use a product before technically returning it? I don't know. I feel like if there was that maybe if they might have played it for, I don't know, I don't even know what the threshold would be without sounding like a dickhead.
The thing,
saying 40 hours or less, you can have a refund.
The thing is, though, over that time, I imagine it would be quite easy for most people to have got over 40 hours quite easily. Would it be a case of the false promises? Because that's what they were kind of getting at. According to many consumer reports, EA and DICE did not keep promises made at launch. So the game's come out, they've made promises to fix the game, and now 4 months on, the time has been exhausted for promises to be kept. Is that breaking what's essentially a verbal contract with the community? I know it's not a written contract, but that's where the change.org petition is asking to be put into place, and that's for EA to go, actually, do you know what? Okay, we've done goofed. You can have your money back because we've let you down. Do you see EA doing that? I'm not convinced for a couple of reasons, because there will probably be two types of people. People that have played Battlefield and hated it and want their money back, and people that played Battlefield and had a good enough time, got their money's worth and stopped playing the game, but now see an opportunity to get 70 quid back for a game that they've used their 60 hours, 70 hours in and gone, oh, fuck, I'm not going to play it anymore now because I've finished it, essentially. So, yeah, give me my money. I fucking hate this game. Give me my money back. So do you think... I can't see EA doing it, even with that many signatures. What I can see is EA going, we hear you, and we know you want your money back because it's not broken, because it's not fixed, it's broken, and we've not lived up to our promises. But here's what we're going to do to fix the broken game. I can see them doing that almost like political stance of, You're asking one question. I'm going to answer a different one. That sounds like I'm answering that one. Yeah.
Very political stance on it.
Yeah, I think that's the way it'll go. I can't see them bowing to pressure because, yes, there's a change.org petition that requires nothing. That's the thing. Change.org petitions don't require anything. It's like when people go, if it gets 100,000 signatures, then you can get your MP to discuss it in Parliament. That's not really true, actually. I mean, the sentiment is there, but they can look at it and go, oh, that's not going to get discussed in Parliament, and jobs are good. So,
do they have? I mean, the shareholders now will have already had their money for the last 4 months, however long the game's been out. They can't take that money out of the pot again, can they, to refund people? Because I mean, why would they? Like, it's not like the Cyberpunk thing where they have a long term. They do have a long term reputation to try and keep, because Battlefield's been going forever, and obviously they want people to be able to come back and buy that game. But Cyberpunk being the single player experience, CD Projekt Red have so much. They had so much in the bank with the Witcher series and stuff like that, that they couldn't really afford to fuck this up, because the game will be coming out for PlayStation 5 at some point, and they'll want people to go out and buy that for $40 again if they didn't already. They refunded the game originally, so I can't see them wanting to give a refund from this. Even if they wanted to, I don't think they would, because it's EA. They don't have to. Like, I hate the don't pre-order the games and stuff like that, but you can't stop people from getting excited about games that they want to be excited about. They may get burned 9 times out of 10, and they might be pissed off that they end up spending the money on it. But I mean, the trailers that they put out and stuff, we never would have thought the game Battlefield would be in this position after all the trailers that came out.
Nope. And
no one could have foresaw this. If they did, then it would have just been. It would have been people saying, don't pre-order this game because you don't know what this game's going to look like. But trailers are there for a reason, to get your hype built up. No one could have foreseen the game being the absolute shit show that it is now.
The thing is, and some people will go, yeah, but did you not see the last Battlefield? It was a shit show. And that's kind of where I would come back and go, yes, which is why this one couldn't afford this level of failure. The last Battlefield was dead on arrival. And yeah, fair enough, it finished with great Pacific content. But it was a fraction of the audience that played it. Everyone had moved on, and the ones that did play went, okay, this would have been good. That was the sentiment. This would have been great. It's good, but it would have been wonderful. And it's that one that could have been better, but you know, it's all right. Well done. It'll be good enough next time. And then it wasn't. It was shocking. What Battlefield needed, we had I don't know if it was a scoop or whether it was through the E3 Gamescom content. It was basically us saying, EA and Battlefield just can't afford another DOA sort of like Dead on Arrival entry, because people go, oh, it's just Battlefield again. It's just doing Battlefield things. And Battlefield is synonymous with failure, whereas the Battlefield that I knew is synonymous with the best FPS experiences that they're out there. And it's just not the same anymore. So yeah, shame. Absolute shame. So glad I used my 10 hours free play and didn't buy it. Well played, Neil. Well played.
Yeah. I mean, that's always a massive shout. If you've got the ability to be able to do that, then absolutely go and test your games that way. But I just always hate the arguments like don't pre-order games and stuff. Like, how can you stop people from being excited about something?
I agree.
Like, if they want the game day one, they pre-order the game digitally, so it unlocks at midnight and you're able to go and play it straight away, so you don't have to go and do midnight launches and stuff like that. And it may be detrimental in the long run, because they know they can put out shit day one and then it'll get patched down the line. But how can you stop people from taking very small pleasures in life, like being able to play the game as and when they want to, even if it is going to be a massive pile of shit?
Yeah,
what are you going to do? Not play it? What's the alternative?
I would never discourage anyone overly from pre-ordering a game. I would say the smarter money is to not on pre-ordering a game. But I wouldn't discourage them, because pre-ordering a game has so many benefits as well. You, particularly if you aren't buying into an EA title, but you are buying into a Chucklefish, random developer that I've just pulled off the top of my head. You want to buy a Chucklefish game, and you pre-ordering that game means that developer knows that they have a guaranteed sale for when the game comes out, which that guaranteed sale hits closer towards their target. Every guaranteed sale hits close towards their target. So if that game's hit its target before it's even launched, they're already planning for the next game then, which means that the longevity of the first game is kind of like, okay, well, we can now not just build this as a one-off game, we can build this into a one-off game that builds to the Marvel Cinematic Universe of Chucklefish games. And so pre-ordering is great for the video games makers, and then as a result of that loyalty and giving them that ace in the hole with your sale, they will give you new skins that you can't get for other things. They will give you access to content early, and that's the trade-off. So I would never say don't do that, but if you pre-order a game, you are open to the fact that most games, massive games and new games, will have the potential of unforeseen circumstances. As there is no way of testing for a world that is a live environment versus a test environment. People will go, did they not do QA? Did they not test this? And I can't remember exactly the numbers, but someone gave me something on a video game, and it was like, say this video game was tested in beta for 1,000 hours with however many people, you put that game into a live environment and that data is surpassed within like 2 hours or something like that. So 2 hours of a live environment, you've got endless variations depending on... The numbers are wrong, but the sentiment is right. So any game that you pre-order, you are opening yourself up to issues. And sometimes you expect issues and they're not there. PUBG, for example, went free to play, and I said to people, expect it to be a shit show on that morning. And it wasn't. It was smooth as fuck. I was like, what? Okay, I will take it.
Infrastructure was already there, though. Like, it's not as if they haven't had that many people playing the game before. When PUBG came out, it was a Goliath. So it's not as if they haven't got the server capabilities for it. It's just brilliant that it was seamless, that everyone's managed to come back in and play it.
But for it being such a drastic change, like changing the whole way the system works and the back end, because anyone that owns the game gets given PUBG Plus. Anyone that doesn't own the game gets given PUBG, and then the ability to upgrade to PUBG Plus to unlock the ranked modes and things like that. And
amazing.
I expected it to break. It didn't. So GG's. Yeah. But then again, other games that you come out and you think, oh well, this is an EA Battlefield game. This is going to work on day one. Okay, this is going to work on month 4. Oh, okay.
Camlay's in the chat says, so since my community has now forced me onto Hover, it has sent me here. Hello.
Hey.
Good afternoon, Camlay.
How you doing, Camlay? I did see Camlay has just visited your stream from Hover and commented on your post. That popped up on my phone. So, hey. How you doing, Camlay? Do you stream? Hi. Stream. Welcome in. How you doing? We stream multiple things. So we're streaming a podcast, which we do Monday to Friday at 10 a.m.-ish. I know it's not 10 a.m., it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's a little bit far from 10 a.m.
You'll get used to that, believe me. If you're here enough, you will get used to that.
So we stream podcasty stuff like this, but we also do gameplay stuff. So tonight I will be live from 6:30 UK time playing PUBG. So if you want to see some gameplay stuff, do feel free to come back for that. Feel free to drop a follow. And if you do play games, then do feel free to give us a little bit of an overview in the chat, because we appreciate you dropping the support on Hover as well. We have also just joined Hover, as you will have seen. We've got 6 posts so far or something like that, give or take. So yeah, nice. Welcome in. So yes, okay, recap. Call of Duty Vanguard has been updated, or will be updated, should I say, on Monday. That includes Vanguard and the Warzone Pacific Season 2. Lots of new content in Call of Duty, whilst Battlefield, it's got updates, but it's to a petition of 70,000 people that want refunds for the game. Not the greatest updates. Hey, thank you for dropping the follow, Camlate. We appreciate that. My community is all about building each other up, so damn right. Here you go. Yeah. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. I'm Graham, by the way, as you can see. And that's Bib. That's our studio. I'm at home. He's in the studio. Hey, he said Bibby's home, but forget that. It's not Bibby's home. It's Bibby's studio. Because I've not changed the nameplate. Fuck! Anyway, okay, let's jump into our last news article of the day. This one is for PlayStation users. A new PS5 beta test will introduce voice commands on Wednesday, which is today. Nice. Tom Ivan, once again at VGC, says Sony is also changing how parties work on PS4 and PS5. Yes! I mean, whatever. I'm remaining neutral to that fucking wonderful, exceptional news that should have been done months ago, but still, neutral. Nice. Sony has announced plans to make a new PS4, 5 and PS4 system software beta updates available to testers beginning on Wednesday, February the 9th. PS5 beta participants in the US and UK will be able to test new Hey, PlayStation voice command features for finding and launching games and apps, as well as controlling media playback. Hey, PlayStation, send Bibby a message. Sub to ICU. Nice. Send. Following PS5's first system software beta last July, the console's second one will also introduce new customization options across party chat, game base, and accessibility settings, which Sony has detailed on the PlayStation blog. PS4 players will also be able to preview parties features coming to both consoles. Voice chats are now called parties, and when launching one, testers will be able to choose either an open or a closed party. The former lets party members' friends see and join without an invite, while the latter is only open to invited players, which, I mean, kind of should have had that lot of stuff already, but nice. We're getting there. New PS5 UI features include the ability to keep chosen games and apps on the home screen, while the visual design of trophy cards and the trophy list has been updated. In terms of accessibility updates, Screen Reader, which reads aloud on-screen text and provides spoken guidance for the for operating the console, will be made available in six additional languages, and players will have the option to enable mono audio for headphones. The betas will be available in US, Canada, Japan, UK, Germany, and France, with selected participants set to receive email invitations when the updates are available to download. PS5 voice commands will only be available to testers in the US and the UK. I don't know why I decided to read that in terms and conditions speech.
Infomercial.
Yeah, nice. So the features being tested will be made widely available when the final system software updates launch globally later this year. Does that sound good to you, babe?
It just sounds like what we had with the Connect many years ago. Like, it's not. I mean, it will be fantastic for people who need this kind of accessibility. Will I ever use it? Probably not.
Hello.
Ever.
Are you new here?
Apart from being super lazy, but yeah, I don't think this will. I need to know more about I'm more excited about the Discord integration than I am for stuff like this. Because the ball has already been started rolling now for the Discord stuff. I just need the Discord the Discord parties in the console now. That'll be amazing.
Yes.
Bruce Firebean says, "Is it going like Soakum?" That'll be amazing. I loved Soakum so much.
I mean, it could go like anything that is not the current updates, and I will be happy with that, because I'm a big fan of the PS5. It's like the PS4 but rapid. I am not a big fan of all of the lessons learned from the PS5 UX experience over 7 years just being thrown out of the window for something that looks pretty. So
the long press of the PlayStation button on your controller was still throwing me off now, a year and a bit later.
Yep, every day I got to turn off my PlayStation. Nope, it's not the one. That's not the one.
One day I'll get used to it.
So yes, as I was saying, big news, not really. Good news, yes. PlayStation is working on their UI and UX. The fact is, not a lot of people have PlayStations right now. So do you know what? If we can get it fixed before everyone else gets in, then it'll be a problem that a lot of people would have never experienced. This PlayStation UI is very good. Light up a fag. You're new here, yeah? You weren't around at the beginning, the early days. So yeah, it's not great, but do you know what? Nice. We'll fix it over time. SOCOM was class. See, I never played SOCOM. I never played it. It was just one of those games that just didn't pop up in my group of friends, and it wasn't like Call of Duty levels of success. It was kind of almost like a niche title. It kind of had its own little groups, and we just weren't that group, so I never played it, so I'll take your word for it. Let's go. Just joined today, but already ready to tell TikTok who? see, we have TikTok, but we have pretty much not got TikTok. Yeah, we've reserved it, but we haven't posted on it. We will eventually, but today's not that day. Hover being just video games focused meant it was easier to just transition in posting, whereas for TikTok, we've got a bit more of a strategy brain when it comes to it. We want to post some sort of like starter content and stuff, but we'll do that when the time's right. My biggest platform is TikTok, and I hate it. Oh, really? Yeah, that's the thing. TikTok is a good platform to have because the amount of growth that you can get on TikTok is just another platform to maintain. We don't mind just growing slowly and naturally on this channel. This is fine. Madge, welcome in, dude. PS5 UI makes Xbox Windows UI seem like the best thing ever. Any updates are most welcome. That is the sentiment that I entirely agree with. It looks great. There's a lot of cool functions in there, but it's been designed to look great. Hasn't been designed with step-by-step process in mind. So, yeah, we'll fix that. But we are done for the day, at least for the show, should I say. We aren't done for the day. I will be back from 6:30 p.m. UK tonight to play some PUBG. Join us, and I say us, meaning me and the Triggermeister himself, Mr. iLotus UK, exclamation mark, Lotus.
The Triggermeister.
The Triggermeister. Join us. We'll be back tonight for Chasing Crates with mates. Me and the mates will go chasing crates. It's kind of self-explanatory. Nice. We will also be back tomorrow with another episode of The Scoop. We will both be in that studio that says Baby's Home, but it's not Baby's Home. It's the Ice Cream Upload studio, but it's fine. We'll both be there tomorrow bringing you another episode of The Scoop. And then again on Friday, we'll be back, and then we'll have extra content over the weekend. Another PUBG stream, and potentially, if we baby agrees, some gameplay on Sunday, but we'll see. We'll see how we get on with that. It's 3 p.m. here in Norway, but I got you followed, so
Style.
Nice. We appreciate that. Thank you very much for dropping the follow. And thank you very much for dropping in from Hover, which you will see from all of the links in the chat. Speaking of links in the chat, we are going to disappear right now, but Mr. Bib.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much to each and every one of you that have joined us for this episode of The Scoop this afternoon. Definitely not the morning. We still have 2 more shows to go this week, so if you want to help shape either of those shows, there is 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or get involved with our Discord. All the links are in the chat available for you now, but all we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions of the story. We will then add our thoughts and impressions of the story in the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow? Instagram Day.
10 a.m. Oh, no, voice mod's not working. Ish. God damn it. 10 a.m. Ish. We go live at 10 a.m. Ish. We aim for 10 a.m, but it can be a bit later because we do work in the video games industry, and we say that every day. The work comes first, the streams we do fit in around that. So we do appreciate anyone that does show up when we do go live. If you want to know what time we go live, just drop a follow on the channel, get your notifications turned on, and that way you do get told. Adorned Ferret, thank you very much for the follow just then as Baby was running through that. We appreciate that. Fireproof Bean says, latest guys, another class podcast. Do you know what? Another class viewer, mate. Another class viewer. We appreciate you being in. Beans says, hi. Bye. If anyone just heard a WhatsApp message, that was Beans WhatsApping me. Beans, I will be on later on tonight. So if you're around tonight,
oh my God, is he joining?
He could be. Yeah, I'm a full-time nurse and content creator. Life be crazy. Yikes! Yeah, we
one extreme to the other.
Yeah, we at least do video game stuff around it, so it's not that much of a transition for us. We work for a video games marketing agency in the UK, so we do video game stuff, and then we do video game stuff, whereas you change entirely. So GG's. But yes, do stick around. We're going to raid one of our friends. Don't go anywhere. We'll drop a raid on one of the homies, so don't go too far. You will see who that is as we throw up the end slate. But for now, we are going to disappear. Just a quick reminder that 6:30 tonight, I will see you right here live for some PUBG Chasing Crates with mates. Well, 6:30-ish. You know how it is. Until then, have a good day and stay frosty.